You don't just like to sit back and think?
Not when you hit record on everything. That's not the time to stop and reflect.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. I was lost in thought. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
And it's our bi-weekly podcast show. So, that sounded fucking stupid. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. We watched some of the football games.
Terrible games.
Yeah, awful games. Terrible games.
At least the Eagles game.
And
the Eagles fucking won, too.
Dude, you know what's pissing me off more and more is that it's the refs. And that's how you know you're becoming an adult. Because I'm watching these football games and I'm seeing these refs. You good?
Yeah, don't worry. Do your thing.
You're looking like Fetty Wap over there. You're seeing these refs more and more just do like terrible calls. And the entire time I'm watching these, it's like, man, what the fuck are you thinking? That's a first down. Man, what the fuck are you thinking? That's a touchdown. And then they review it and they're like, no first down, no touchdown. And you're like, that's clearly... And you're like, oh shit, this is what it is being almost 30.
Nice. It's good to be... realize that you become like an adult and your scope...
Those are the things you focus on instead.
Your scope changes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so today's beer is brought to you by...
Oh yeah, let's hand those out.
My cheap old dad. Today we're drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, and it's probably pretty hard to read because he wrote it himself yesterday. Why did I close it?
These are not cold.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
They're pretty fucking cold. And
No,
the fridge is
they're
turned
not.
all the way up.
That does not make it cold.
Well, it's been like that all day.
You could shit in a sandbox and call it a litter box, but if your kid plays in it and touches it, you're going to fight that parent.
I'm going to drink.
This is a warm beer.
It's not warm.
I cracked this beer open in utter detest for the warm beer.
Well, blame Daniel.
Get your shit together, Josh. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we exercise before this podcast because we're trying to...
No one fucking knows that.
We're trying to... Well, they do now.
And I didn't get to finish.
Well, let me
so
finish.
Rude. No.
Well, you give me a warm beer. That's pretty rude, too. So,
oh, my gosh.
I took a shower and I used Josh's body wash, and my face smells like coconuts, and it's blending with this warm beer stank, and it's going to make this a lot harder than I thought it would be to drink. So, here's to you, Josh.
That's how when you use women's body wash. But, so, the little spiel that my dad wanted us to say is that Pabst Blue Ribbon was voted the best beer in the Americas. Oh, no, it was selected as America's best beer in 1893. That was fucking...
Back when there was no other competition for beer.
120 years ago? 27 years
I'm not
ago?
good at math. Don't look at me.
137.
Yeah.
No, 27. 127 years ago.
It's a long time ago.
That's their claim to fame.
That's awful.
120 years ago. Dope.
Hey, 120 years ago, you know what was in fashion? Dueling in the streets.
How many beers did they
This
have?
was the best dueling pistol you could buy.
How many beers did they have 130 years ago?
Like I said, 3. They had this, and then they had fucking Tom Sawyer brewing it in his backyard.
Gutter water,
And then they had turlet wine, probably, at that point, and that was about it. They probably didn't even have many prisons back then.
They probably just had one. It's just like a...
Yeah, just one...
set of 6
It's like a
iron bars.
timeout corner. Just back then. There's
No
like
fucking door.
Go sit in that chair. Think about what you did. Thought about it.
It's just like a equivalent of a cardboard box shelter. So also in lieu of the start of the show, today's Be Now.
Butthole fact.
Bi-weekly nugget of knowledge. If you want to be in the... I'm actually going to change it.
If you want to be in the butthole.
If you want to be in the know. Because... So I when you were in the shower...
Were you saying be in the now before?
No.
Oh.
Just be now. But if you want to be in the know... So
that sounds super like Republican no spin zone-y.
What do you mean spin zone?
You ever seen the O'Reilly Factor?
No.
I said the O'Reilly Factor. The O'Reilly
Auto parts.
Political show. Pow! He's got this segment where he goes, that's tomorrow, and blah, 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 and the no spin zone, because he's not trying to spin the facts or anything.
Oh. Cool. No, it's so it. I said "Be Now," the bi-weekly nugget of wisdom,
Butthole.
but I called it knowledge for the longest time.
I can't not hear the word butthole when you say "be now." Butthole is officially the funniest word again. Congratulations.
And so
we did it.
when you were in the shower, I was looking at acronyms for bi-weekly nugget of knowledge.
And then you realized on Urban Dictionary it literally meant butthole.
No, and one of the acronyms was just know, like KNOW. So I was like, oh, if you want to be in the know. The K comes from weak. So
What?
you're
Weak starts with a W.
I know. Acronyms.
Because you're
Acronyms don't-
trying to come up with this clever thing, and it's like, I'd rather do a word scramble in the New York Times. It'd be easier than this mental projected of 4 words.
Acronyms don't have to start with the word necessarily.
I would argue they do.
Talk to Scrabble. Talk
Okay.
to Acronymify.
I'm gonna make an acronym right now. Butthole. What does butthole stand for, Josh?
I don't know. You made it.
Abacus, uterus, testicles, testosterone, hormones, ovulation, leukemia, eczema. How did you not get that?
Okay.
They all started with the first letter.
Abacus starts with an A. Butthole starts with a B.
Well, you said that they don't.
Are you fucking retarded? Are you stupid? What the fuck?
That's
You
what it's
argued
like. That's what
the
it's like.
wrong
That's what it's like
point.
talking to you about this fucking Be Now shit, bro. Make it butthole facts and get on with it.
Today-
You want the hot squirt juice fact of the day? Here's the butthole fact of the day. If you eat sriracha, which I did last night, and it was expired by a month, your butthole fucking burns when you poop. That's the Be Now. That's what everyone wants to hear.
Today's random fact actually applies today. After working out, it takes 5 hours for your body temperature to return to normal.
Every day we stray further from God.
Today's butthole fact. Brought to you by Alec.
Also, check your fridge, and if there's any expired sriracha, throw it out. Because that shit is not good on everything, especially
I checked this fridge. Like, is it okay? Is it okay?
Is this fridge expired? Well, it's not really cool in the beer, so, you know. Let's start there.
It's on. I don't know. What
Was
to
it in
tell
there
you.
overnight, or how long was it in there? Like 20 minutes?
I plugged it in at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah.
Was the beer cold?
No, it's been chilling in there since yesterday. Unplugged.
Yeah, it needs a little more time then.
I like not drinking super cold things because it hurts my throat. Just like the sheer temperature.
We should chuck in this.
Not right now on the show. I don't want to make a fucking mess and ruin your nice electronics.
You won't. Just don't fucking barf on it.
Like when we were at Ryan's house and I wanted to spray it on you on your birthday.
Did you? Oh, yeah. You would've got Melvined.
I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what that means. It means I would give you a fat wedgie and throw the underwear over the back of your head so you look like Batman. You'd be Buttman with the fucking butt face mask.
Well, it'll fit my knowledge and fun facts.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Be Now, man.
What do you got for us? What do you got today?
Well, I've been meditating, as everyone knows, because I talk about it nonstop now. Because I basically,
Visit any good timelines?
I'm always on the best timeline. Basically, I've adopted the vegan and Mormon mindset of I do this thing and I want to tell everyone about it all the time because it's special to me and it makes me feel good. And I was meditating, and I've been meditating, and then I wake up one morning, like a week ago, and I'm on YouTube, and I see a David Blaine exclusive balloon
He
thing.
did Up.
Yeah, he did Up, but he wanted the
But no
photo
house.
of him floating away on balloons, holding the balloons, and he wanted it to be picture perfect. And after that, he went like to 25,000 feet above the Earth's atmosphere for a skydive. So it started off as like this balloon stunt, and then it ended up being this fucking space free fall. And in the upper atmosphere, he hits a point. He's on the radio with somebody, and they go, "David, just remember your breathing techniques." And he's, Jesus Christ, bro, am I that boring?
Is this one cold enough for you?
That is colder, but throw it back in. I'm not done.
Well, this one's for me then.
We'll throw one to wherever that one. Is there a vent or a fan blowing on it somewhere?
It's cold as fuck in here.
This one was the this one's the.
Do you want to trade?
No, just feel that. Just tell me that's as cold as that one. It's not.
It's not, but I mean,
it's the warm one.
I'll literally fucking trade you right now.
No, it's fine. I'll drink it. I'm just saying, the butthole monster is after us, and
so David Blaine is in the atmosphere.
So David Blaine's in the atmosphere, and he's speaking
balloons.
to one of his skydiving experts.
He also tested that with the D'Amelios, the TikTokers.
Explain.
Like, when he brought up the idea and was like testing it, he did it with the D'Amelios. Those two TikTokers.
That doesn't explain it. When I say explain it, you can't just say this sentence with 2 more words.
Are you wondering who they are?
I know they're the TikTokers.
Yeah.
Explain it. What did they fucking
put
really, up on the balloons?
Really big balloons, and they floated across their pool. Like, just not like up in the fucking sky, but like to like levitate. So it was just one balloon testing it.
I mean, I guess that counts as an explanation. So David Blaine,
I don't know what you want from me.
Is he's basically in fucking space, and in space oxygen runs out. So what he does is he goes, David, start to do your breathing techniques, and David starts going and he starts oxygenating his blood and his mind and everything. And basically, I kind of realized that at one point, my meditation is just a breathing technique, and it just oxygenates your brain and your body, and that's why I feel high, and that's why I'm always like, man, you gotta try it. It's so cool. It feels so good.
Free drugs.
This and that. Free drugs, basically. And then I basically just Googled a bunch of different breathing techniques, and now I'm trying those out for the meditation. But basically, I realized I was fed a pot of lies. I'm not focusing my energy. I'm just breathing until I'm high. That's my story. Full stop.
That was a hard stop.
Full stop. What do you have for us? How was your weekend, motherfucker?
I work. My weekends are boring. I do nothing.
You said you unloaded 8 pallets?
Yeah.
A lot of pallets. You strunk?
A couple pallets only had like 2 things on them, but it's all like bulk furniture and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, I just work. I work every weekend. Gonna take a week off soon, just before Q4 hits and it gets crazy.
Quota 4.
But also, I was on YouTube and I saw this one YouTuber I watch. His name is Fillion. He does basically, they're kind of like critiques and exposing
Exposés.
Yeah, exposés on like people in the fitness industry for like using steroids when they claim to be natural.
All those vegan bodybuilders.
Some of them are.
A lot of them are.
Yeah. And so he was saying, I forgot who he was talking about, but he brought up that all the people that claim to be bodybuilders and that they're all natural, most likely they're using some sort of substance, whether it be steroids or other like performance enhancing drugs.
Not just creatine.
Yes. But he was saying that if it were to be regulated, like there should be a league where fucking no bars, use whatever the fuck you want. If you want to use steroids, go for it. We'll allow it. And then there's leagues that, so like basically all or nothing. Mm. Like don't bust certain people. I think he was talking about the UFC. And he was saying, insane. Like, some people get busted and some people don't. And so it's like, okay, well, either do it or don't. Like, you can't just bust certain people for using PEDs and then let other people who use PEDs just go off and...
You want to know what's a crazy story about the UFC is in the women's league, they test hormones and stuff for, like, testosterone levels for, like, steroids. And there's one woman who's a big black lady who tests too high naturally for testosterone.
Is she not allowed to fight?
And she's not allowed to fight unless she takes estrogen pills. She has to take estrogen she has to take something to dampen her testosterone levels, to regulate her testosterone levels. And they're naturally occurring, right?
That's not fair.
Yeah, I completely agree. But you have to fall in a certain testosterone level as a woman to fight. Because, I mean, that's the thing. If women took testosterone or guys took testosterone in the UFC, naturally it would help them, like, gain muscle and all those other things that testosterone does. So if a woman tests too high, they say it's unfair to be in the women's league, even if it occurs naturally.
That's dumb.
Which I think is bullshit, because it's like, obviously if she's cheating and, taking testosterone, that should obviously be handled. But if it's just a natural occurrence in her body,
you can't help that.
Then she shouldn't be penalized for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was bullshit.
Yeah. Something that he said was like, it should just be like all or nothing. So you shouldn't test certain people, either test everyone or don't test anybody.
Yeah.
So you should have like 2 separate leagues where like you can use PEDs, whether it be bodybuilding or any sort of sports, like baseball has occasional steroid usage for some fucking reason. Why? I don't fucking know.
I think the main drawback to steroids and testosterone is, I think there's like a study where it shows people who take steroids are more likely to be physically abusive to their spouse or their partner, and in a lot of cases it actually ends up in murder.
Tim Lambesis, the singer of As I Lay Dying, an American metalcore band.
An American poet.
Technically.
In modern terms.
An American metalcore band. Did steroids. He was fucking huge. Still is pretty big.
Is it that dude who's in all those memes? The big dude doing the dance with the...
No, that's Harm's Way. That's an American hardcore band. He tried to hire someone to kill his wife, and he went to jail for it. But he did steroids, and when he went to jail, he couldn't use his steroids, obviously, and he started to grow boobs. Mm-hmm. Because like the withdrawals
there's some serious
drawbacks.
There's some serious side effects because when you quit steroids, basically you lose your testicles. They shrivel up to raisins, and because your testicles basically process it, and when it's not processing a high volume of testosterone or steroids anymore, the body goes, there's no use for this organ anymore, so it just kind of takes away its priority. It just shrivels up, and then you can grow like breasts, or your hormones come super out of balance, and you start having more estrogen, and just start to develop like more feminine features.
Would you watch a league or like any sort of sport that had like a division solely dedicated to people who used performance enhancing drugs? Here
is kind of where I feel about everything right now.
I think it'd be more interesting.
I think the same thing, but it'd be a circus, right? It'd be one of those things you don't really care about.
Everyone's fucking hitting home runs.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's not interesting enough because it's just a bunch of freaks, in my opinion. If you are just like, sure, it'd be regulated in this and that or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, so is a bearded lady or a tiger that can walk on a ball and a seal that can honk horns. Like, those are all managed and maintained to do that thing, and it's just to do a thing to get people to watch for a short time. Like the XFL, people are going to watch for a little bit, and then they're going to realize it's not interesting enough for it to maintain my focus. Like, you're not going to have a favorite player, you're not going to have a favorite like drug doer, you're not going to have, because in the reality, it takes away the mystique of that person worked really hard, went to college, this and that, and got drafted. That's gone. It's just, this dude's so big, no one can tackle him, and he has to be in this special league. People will watch it, and there's going to be a few highlights and a few viral videos on YouTube, but I don't think it'd be sustainable. Because, like I said, everything's a circus right now. Even memes right now. The internet's a circus, bro. Even memes. It's like, I'm seeing memes about, like, video game characters, and like it's funny and I relate to it, and then it's just like a person dying, and then it's like,
those are the best.
Those are insane, but like it's just literally like the grossest shit you've ever seen, and you're like, this isn't funny, but it's just like it's getting shared and it's getting spread because it's
ironically funny.
It's so shocking to where it has to be in the circus, and the circus is the internet right now. The internet is the circus tent.
And we're all carnies.
And we're all fucking carnies, bro. And everyone's posting about.
So you don't have to run away. Just stay.
Just find. You don't have to run away. You just
stay plugged in.
You just have to find your subreddit online and then go from there. Because everything's online. But
I hear furries are very welcoming.
Furries are very welcoming, but they don't have sex as much as they say. I'm trying to fuck some furries right now. And
really?
Yeah, and I'm like on the internet pages.
Do you have a foxtail yet?
No, I got butt plugs.
Jesus,
those are pretty cool.
Are you gonna get a foxtail to try and get some?
I'm gonna get a butt plug foxtail. Yeah.
Furry poon.
Yeah. No, I'm obviously not doing any of that, but I feel like the furry fetish was like a sex thing, and then you meet some furries and they're not super into fucking. They just like dressing up.
It's one of the things like where you see it on.
It's like cosplay. Like people dress up for cosplay, they get the attention. And
it's
then
not
like,
all cosplay sexualized. It's just what you see.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like
I'm just on the right pages.
It's just surface level.
Yeah, exactly. There's levels to everything, right? Like the whole NFL make a league of people who could do steroids.
PEDs.
There's definitely a league of cosplay enthusiasts who just do orgies, you know. And there's also a cosplay enthusiast who just like the sewing or the making of the costume,
the craftsmanship.
And that's it for everything. There's always going to be a category, and then extremes on both sides of every category. And I thought it took off as a category of just like, let's dress up as animals and have sex, and then
in the woods for some reason. I remember it like back in the day. It was always in the woods.
I never knew any of that. I just knew people dressed up and would like have sex in like basically mascot outfits.
Yeah, fursuits.
Yeah, but like that's kind of like where it started.
Some people make their fursuits like super fucking detailed. Like when they talk, their mouth moves, and they're just like really fucking high quality. Like,
and that's the
I don't like that shit, but like
that's the craftsmanship side
shouts out
of
to
it
them.
for people. Yeah,
they look fucking amazing.
Yeah, man, and basically it's
Too
like
bad you think you're a fucking wolf.
It's basically at the end of the day, it's like that's the same thing as like cosplay to an extent. It's just people who are like so disillusioned to where they're like, I am a wolf, or Jesus, you're a thirsty boy.
You're just slow.
Yeah, it's warm.
Then fucking give me the beer.
Hang on.
As he chugs the beer for those audio listeners.
It's better. A little better. Anyway. Super bready. Yeah, that's just the cosplay Comic-Con enthusiast inside of someone putting that energy or talent towards that thing. But I think there's a fine line between, you know, I think when an artist starts saying they're like a god because they save lives or they feel like they transcend the properties of reality, it's like there becomes a real point to where it's like you're still a good artist and you could do this, but also there's probably some underlying mental health issues there.
There's that one song about suicide. What is that Logic song with the hotline?
Yeah, Logic did the whole album with the hotline number.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those weird things where it's like you could put everything into this art project, and at a certain point it's gonna transcend a genre or a property of some defining feature, and it's going to become a new thing at some point.
New thing, like, what do you mean?
Like if you are a cosplay enthusiast but you actually think you are Link from Zelda, then
I fucking hate those kind of people.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you go to Walmart and you see someone dressed up as Neo and they say we are in the Matrix, it stops being.
Shut up.
It stops being like a fun costume idea at some point, and it's like you're fucking weird, and there's an issue here. There's a bigger issue here.
That is just some people's lives, though. Like,
sure,
they genuinely believe like I am kin of wolf, and it's like, okay, well, like, first of all,
and my point
on all levels except physical, I am a wolf,
and
is now a woman. Shouts out to her.
But my point being is like that's probably something and that's the thing, like, it's a circus, right? So I never know if it's someone just doing it for clout or if it's someone who's really, like, in belief of that thing, and then it's just a bunch of people cheering them on, and that can't be healthy, So it's like, at the end of the day, it's always going to be something, but at some point, I'm saying it's going to be something else. There's always going to be... Are you harming anyone dressing up as a wolf? No. Are you harming anyone having sex consensually with someone else dressed up as animals? No. Is it concerning to see someone say, I'm a wolf, and start barking at kids at a shopping mall? Yeah. There's an issue there. There's a real thing and a real reason to be concerned when someone starts acting like that, because there's
a time and a place.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Comic-Con, or do it at a furry convention, whatever it is you got to do.
But also, like, you shouldn't have to be like, you shouldn't have to censor yourself in public. But there is that certain degree of like, okay, well, this it sucks because, like, it may not be socially acceptable.
When you say censor yourself, though, what do you mean? Because
if I truly believe, like, I'm a dragon, like, and I want to go out and pretend to breathe fire, or like,
so you just walk up to people and start breathing fire in their face?
I wouldn't do it in their face, but like, if I'm just doing it in public,
but
like, if I'm at
but
the
if you're
Oaks Mall,
if you're a dragon, true to the core, you're not.
I'm like Spyro, little tiny dragon.
If you're a little tiny dragon, true to the core, at a shopping mall, and you want to breathe fire on somebody, that dragon would have the intent to kill, not to be like, I'm a dragon.
Spyro wasn't like that.
Spyro's a video game character.
Maybe I'm Spyro.
Who can talk. Maybe I'm Spyro.
Maybe I'm Spyro.
Josh, we're gonna have a long talk after this podcast.
I'm just saying, like, it would suck to be marginalized and saying, like, you want to do this, but you can't do this in public because it's fucking weird.
Absolutely. I want to masturbate in public every day. Every day I'm at a shopping mall, I want to jerk off in front of people. And anytime I see a cute girl, I want to just jerk off to them. Here's why. Because I want to do it. And I don't want to be censored by society.
So you're just going to run up to them and whip your dick out?
Going to run up and rub off. No, but that's my point, right? Okay, so there's definitely a line. That's an example. I'm not going to go do that.
Okay.
Okay, Louis C.K., chill.
Clear the air. It's not observe and report. You're not the serial flasher with Seth Rogen.
Okay, but there's like a definite line where if someone came up to you, started jerking off to you, man or woman, you'd be like, hey, fucking stop. If
it was a dude, I'd be more quick, like, get the fuck out of here. Woman,
oh, dude, that guy's going down.
Woman be a little less like, hey, no, like, don't do this.
I'd stop and look for a second and be like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
Which
is fucked up.
But there is a line, right? There is, sure. And it's not even being censored. It's just decency. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, as much as you want to, turns out you can't just go throw rocks into every business establishment. Yeah, but
like, if there's some kid just sitting in like a courtyard howling at nothing, like, just let him do his thing.
Sure.
They're not harming anyone.
No, I'm
There's
saying...
There's being a fucking weirdo over there.
Here's the thing. If you're a wolf, man, and you're a wolf in a shopping mall, you're going to go bite people. Because I think if you're really a wolf, you're going to go fucking eat a kid.
Obviously, they're not, like, wild wolves.
So you're not obviously really that thing.
Yes, try explaining that to them, though.
You can't.
You're explaining that to a rational human being.
So just tell them to shut the fuck up. And don't jerk off to people. I've given some really extreme examples, like 20 minutes into this podcast.
Don't jerk off on people. Yes.
No, don't jerk off to people. Do not jerk off. It's a sin. You'll go to hell.
No, jerk off.
Jesus is watching.
Jerk off to people. Do some cum tributes. Jerk off on your phone screen. Primo, I guess. I don't know. People do that. And then they
he said, I don't know. I guess people do that. Not me, though.
And then they tweet it to that person. It's like, look, I did this for you. It's like, okay, well, first of all,
that's weird,
buddy, calm down.
But, like, I mean, even that, right? Like, it's like a lot of girls complain about getting unsolicited dick pics.
I would complain, too.
They don't want to see everyone's dick all the time.
Nope. Even if they work in, like, even if they do, like, sex work or are in that industry.
Of course.
That doesn't fucking mean they want to see dicks.
Just because I work at Wetzel's Pretzels doesn't mean I want to see some fucking tween howling at the moon saying he's a fucking wolf with big fucking oven mitts on, saying he's ready for Comic-Con 2021 because 2020 was bullshit. I don't want that. That's bullshit. There's a line, bro. There's always a line. And I work at Wetzel's Pretzels, and I don't want to deal with that motherfucker.
What's your favorite lemonade there?
Actually, just the straight up lemonade, and then I always get the bagel dogs, the pretzel dogs. Those are fucking bomb.
I've never had anything from Wetzel's Pretzels.
Wetzel's Pretzels is so good.
Never had anything.
I hope they survive. I don't know if the one.
They will. They're fine.
Yeah,
They're okay.
chilling. Everyone needs a good pretzel dog, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wetzel's Pretzels if you haven't gotten it. Get a fucking pretzel dog. It's gonna change your life.
I liked Annie's.
What's Annie's?
The fucking cookie place.
I never went there.
On the first floor.
I never went there.
It was the best.
Here's the thing. As a kid, I'd go there and like my parents would be like, "No, stay away," because they were super like into dieting or whatever.
Yeah, the cookie place was there, and then Cinnabon was right there.
Yeah, but it was always like we're never gonna go there. So like
Never.
Grown up, even as an adult, I'm like, it's just sweet. It's just sweet. Like,
Sweet.
it's just sweets. It's super sugary. I don't need it. Like, I'm not gonna go buy a cake. I'd love a cookie or whatever.
A cookie cake. Oh.
But it's like at the end of the day, it's like I'm not gonna go do that by myself. Like
a nice warm cookie that's freshly baked and smells amazing.
I can already sense it right now.
Just walking in that part of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
You just fucking it's like a visceral feeling.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, man. I mean, imagine you're just there though, like next to the kids' playground. And like, I mean, the kids' playground
It is right there.
You kids in the playground, go ahead and howl like wolves. You're fucking kids.
Yeah, you don't know what you like yet.
But when you're an adult, there's like a code, right? There's like an unwritten law of like, hey, buddy, don't howl where we are. Like, it's weird, and there's so many weirdos to where like, I don't know if you're gonna howl and then pull out a gun and start shooting everyone. Like, anything that's weird, and that's the thing, right? People don't realize that you can't act super sus without triggering people's normal response of danger.
Red sus.
Yeah. You can't just act like a fucking fool anywhere without people looking at you, because all of a sudden you might be a threat. And if they have kids, they're worried you're gonna
protect your kids.
Yeah, you're gonna worry as any human would. And if there's some dude, I mean, people can't eat when they walk into a bar with a backpack. I'm like, that's a red fucking flag. Watch out for that person. Leave the bar. If someone comes up to a shopping mall and starts howling and scratching at the glass, saying that the puppy in the glass has been separated at birth from them and they're their brother, I'm leaving that fucking shopping mall, dude. Because that dude's gonna fucking steal a puppy and kill somebody on their way out and trample a kid.
I don't know about that.
I'm just okay. I know it's a little extreme, but I'm just saying, like, there's a reasonable response to someone howling, acting different, and to say, this is me, this is who I am. I get that, but like, go do it amongst the wolves.
So you're saying it's not okay to be different in public?
I'm saying there are exceptional limits of being different in public. At a certain point, you can't say I can't be myself. Look, man, there's a bunch of like serial killers and shit out in the world, right?
Sure.
So
and on Wikipedia it says you can help by expanding this list.
And if there's a bunch of serial killers out in the world, and all we see in the news is a bunch of schools getting shot, a bunch of people jumping off buildings, and all I see on my memes now is like people dying, getting their head chopped off. If I just go to the mall to buy a fucking Wetzel's pretzel hot dog, and all of a sudden there's someone behind me panting and scratching his neck and sitting on all fours like a dog, or someone comes in on a leash because they're a submissive person to their partner, it's fucking weird.
There is that girl who acts like a dog, and she makes $10,000 a month.
Yeah. And if I saw that at Wetzel's Pretzels, bro, I would leave. I would not be there. I don't want to be around weird shit. I wouldn't feel unsafe, but there is a point to where it is like you can't ignore it. And it's one of those things like you can't go in public and say, everyone's looking at me, they're not letting me be myself, when realistically you're going into their space, a public space that everyone shares, where that is not a normal behavior.
You take a picture and put it on your story. It's
yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this?
And maybe they're just doing it for the clout. Maybe they're just doing it for this or that. But that's not a normal trait. That's not normal. It's not acceptable, but it's not fucking normal. And you can't pretend that it is normal.
You brought up
There's a line.
You brought up school shootings, and I saw something that someone said was like, if it had to do with the president at the time, Donald Trump, they said, if Donald Trump is such a bad president, why have school shootings been on an all-time...
I hope to God that's fake.
All-time low. And I really do. I hope that as well. How can you be that fucking dense to not realize that school hasn't been in session? Mainly, the pandemic happened in summertime. But now that schools are back in session, no one's at fucking school. So school shootings would not occur. What are you gonna do? Kid's gonna pull out a fucking gun and shoot his laptop?
You see the meme I sent? It was like the N64 controller of the gun. It was like,
no,
don't come to Zoom tomorrow.
Oh yeah, the fucking flash gun from the NES for Duck Hunt.
But in a way, I'd even argue like someone saying something that stupid is the same as someone saying I'm a fucking wolf in a Wetzel's Pretzels, and then expecting
100%.
them to be like, my president's right because school shootings are down, and it's like, bro, at the end of the day, you're still just pretending to be a wolf in a Wetzel's Pretzels. Like there's always gonna be some form of reality you're just choosing not to accept and not to address. And that's the issue. Not the fact that you want to be a wolf, not the fact that you like Trump, the fact that you're ignoring everything else to say this thing exists and I'm right. That's the issue, because you're ignoring so many other factors to validate what you think is even just something you like. You can like Trump, go ahead. You can be a wolf, go ahead. But if you start sniffing my ass in a Wetzel's Pretzels, bro, you're going down. You're going down.
I'll do it for a sec.
Going down. It's just one of those things.
Like immediately, or do you hesitate for a sec?
I smack them away, and then I go, bad dog. And then
that's what they want.
And then if they go, I'm a wolf, they're going down.
And they're like, ooh.
Because that's the thing. Man conquered wolves.
That's how dogs
So anyone
exist.
who
And then we get pugs from that, and pugs hunt lions.
Anyone who believes they're a wolf and doesn't want to be dominated by me isn't a real wolf, because we dominated wolves in the wild.
So
and now
really,
we have Rolo.
You want to fuck all the people who act like wolves.
I do. I want to fuck all the wolf dogs.
The wolf kinship.
If you're over the age of 18.
Wolf kinship, hit up this guy. His info's in the description.
Wolf cult.
Jesus Christ, man.
I know, a little bit of exercise, my brain's already getting some...
It's the dopamine. You've never been this happy.
Yeah. Apparently, it helps for content.
And your body temperature is still high, so, blood's flowing still. I had this thought. I always have thoughts when I'm on my way to Ryan's house every Sunday.
What if I just crashed the car and ended it all?
Besides those.
Okay.
It was, so, whenever, we, as friends, go out and get food somewhere, it's like...
We never go out and get food as friends. We just end up at the same place.
But, oh, don't worry, I got you. And you're
yeah.
So it's like, I'll buy food for you. Do you ever have your thoughts I'm gonna get this before you go there? You decide on a place, okay, I'm gonna get this. And then when you get there, they're like, don't worry, I got you. Do you change your order to get something more expensive?
I get something less expensive.
Ooh, you're a nice person.
I try to be.
So I had this thought. So it's like, oh, don't worry, dude, I got you. It's like, okay, do I get something different? Do I get my same order? Or that never occurred to me, to get something less. Do you add on an extra? What's the code?
I've done this a few times where Ryan was like, "Hey, bro, I got you," and I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I was gonna get a shake and everything too. I'll if I really wanted that,
you'll lay it out.
I'll lay it out. Bro, I really wanted a shake, and is that cool? And then he'd be like, "Sure, whatever, I got you." But most of the time, if he steps up, I'll be like, okay, well, just pepperoni on the pizza then. Who cares? Even though it's I wanted this and chicken wings. I wanted pepperoni, sausage, mushroom, chicken wings. I'll be just, because it's one of those things. As long as you bring the beer, I'm cool. If you bring a pizza, I'm not gonna. I feel like you have no right to complain about someone being
sure,
hey, I bought the pizza. Do you want a slice? I couldn't, and that's the thing. I can't imagine. I remember I was at school for ROP, and everyone kicked in $5 or $10 to order pizza for class. And one girl was like, "We're not ordering pizza unless they're all vegan or gluten free, because I'm vegan and gluten free." And I was like, "I'm not paying money for you." And to ruin what I'm paying for, because I'm essentially paying for $5 worth of a pizza. Do the math. If a pizza's like $10, half of that pizza is mine, and that's what I hate, right? Because like I know if you really wanted to get into it, we could divvy this up like financially and like make it work. But like that's so much work for me to where it's like, look, if you want pepperoni, like I think last time he was like pepperoni and like bell peppers, and I was like, perfect, cool, whatever. Like it was good pizza. And then the other time he did that, he got the chicken ranch pizza, and it was fucking amazing. So I got to try a new thing, you know.
I understand like or deciding on to order something, but like specifically going to a restaurant or like back in the day when we could walk into a fast food restaurant all as a group, because like 3 orders in the drive-thru is ridiculous.
Yeah,
but those workers can go fuck themselves because it's not that inconvenient. So like if we're at a sit-down restaurant and we're like, oh, don't worry, like it's on me tonight.
Sure.
Like changing your order specifically, like if we go to Olive Garden, you get the same shit all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you would know because you've paid for me at Olive Garden before, and I always get the same thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I know what I want.
Sure.
So I wouldn't.
At Olive Garden, yes, that's a very specific example. But
like, here's the one thing. So
like if we went to Stacked would be a good example, because you can get.
That's why I would never buy you food at Stacked.
Me? No. Don't buy me
I would
shit.
never. And that's the thing. Like
You've seen my stacked orders.
Your stacked orders, and here's the thing. Because if I've seen your stacked orders, you pay $40 for mac and cheese, bro.
The best.
I see those, and I'm just like, and it is really good mac and cheese. But I see those, and I'm like, okay, if I'm ever with Josh, just never offer it. Because here's the thing. I've seen you do it, so now if I don't have any right to get mad. Because I know this is how you do things.
But I mean, if you told me beforehand, like dinner's on me, we're going to Stacked, I'd probably like dial it back. I wouldn't go all out like I usually do. I wouldn't spend $40. Probably get a couple of meats.
No, I get that, but I typically try to dial it back if someone gets me like food. The one thing that comes to mind is the one thing I make the exception on is In-N-Out, because usually it's like I very rarely get a shake, but sometimes I just want a strawberry shake.
In-N-Out's also just super fucking cheap. So.
And In-N-Out's really cheap in the first place, but it's also like I won't do it also because it's like, like if you ask me like, hey, can I buy your meal? I'll be like, yeah, but I'm gonna get animal fries. Like that's the only way I'll eat the fries. So it's just one of those things.
You're on the East Coast. Go fuck yourself.
If you're on the East Coast, just imagine White Castle, except for West Coast, better and cheaper.
And bigger burgers.
Bigger burgers.
So, not White Castle at all.
Not at all. But, yeah, man, I try to dial it back a little bit. Like, if we go to Carl's Jr., every time I go to Carl's Jr. by myself, I always get a chocolate shake because I love Carl's Jr.'s chocolate shakes.
2 spicy chicken, 2 California classics.
Yeah, and now I just get the bacon Swiss. It's just a big chicken sandwich and a chocolate shake. But
Carl's Jr. is good. It's just fucking expensive. But I mean, like
it's a little pricier than most, bro.
You pay for.
I went to McDonald's a few days ago, bro, for breakfast. Hash browns are $2 now.
But their breakfast is fucking expensive.
Their breakfast
Egg McMuffin
so
is
expensive.
almost $4.
Yeah, I'm like,
just the sandwich.
Bro,
the breakfast is not worth it.
I left the breakfast and it was like 11:30. I paid like $20. I'm like, for like 3 items. I got a frappe, an egg muffin, and a hash brown. And I was like, bro, I'm never doing this again.
If you are watching this at home or listening to this on Spotify, McDonald's breakfast is delicious, but it is not worth the price.
I love McDonald's breakfast.
Go to Taco Bell instead.
I love McDonald's.
Or fucking Wendy's.
I want to do the Wendy's breakfast still. I love McDonald's breakfast, but holy shit.
It's too fucking expensive.
Way too expensive. I paid a bill that I would pay for 2 people at Chili's. No shit.
I don't even
at a McDonald's drive-thru.
I think the only dollar sandwiches they have for breakfast, even if they are, still
I think they just give you the sausage burrito.
Is I think the biscuit McChicken. But like even then, that would taste fucking terrible because McChickens are dry as shit.
And the biscuits are dry as shit.
Throw that on a biscuit and you just have fucking hell on earth.
It's like eating concrete.
I don't know why anyone would want to do that. Like, they introduced the chicken for the breakfast, and I was like, oh, shit. I love chicken and
It
breakfast.
seemed like a good idea because they were competing with Chick-fil-A.
Because Jack in the Box did that. They had their breakfast jack. They had chicken and sausage.
Yo,
It was
go
two
to
for
Jack in the
$3.
Box for breakfast, bro.
Jack in the Box is really good breakfast.
Jack in the Box is great breakfast. Get the jumbo jack or the 2 sausage croissants. I'm guessing is what you're talking about because it was 2 for $4.
They did a promotion. It was breakfast jacks. It was like
breakfast jacks are good too. Those are Egg McMuffins but with softer buns.
they put that with chicken, and it was 2 for $3. And
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, they was fucking delicious. They don't do it
Those
anymore.
are really good.
They don't have the chicken ones anymore. But I was like, oh my god.
I'm sure if you really wanted to, you can.
I mean, I could order
it.
I can order around it and make my own, but like it's good. I like chicken and breakfast
No, I mean chicken fried steak. You ever had chicken fried steak?
all the time. It's all I get.
That's like the one thing when we would go out to like a place. I was like, man, that's like just the move now.
It's fried steak.
And then you get like a biscuit with some like gravy on top. Yeah, I was like, that's the fucking move, bro. That's a good fucking. That's a hearty breakfast. That's as hearty as it gets.
Okay, so picture this. It's the weekend, right? It's like a Saturday morning, 7 o'clock. You're with your family.
Too early.
7 o'clock.
8:30. 8:30.
8:30.
8:30. I could do it with my family.
You're with your family, right? Where are you guys going to breakfast? Like, people come...
They leave me on my birthday to Denny's, and I make pancakes in their kitchen.
Get idealistic here, not realistic.
Sorry.
I'm asking.
Sorry,
outside
I
the
forgot.
box.
I forgot we're staying in some certain realms today.
Idealistic.
Mhm.
It's 8:30. I guess that's perfect time for you. Breakfast with family. People come out of town to see you for the whatever fucking holiday, like Mother's Day. Sure.
So we are going idealistic here.
Yeah. Zing! It's a random fucking holiday.
Awesome.
People are coming. They visit you. 8:30. Where are you going to breakfast? They've never been to California before. Where are you going to breakfast?
Harold's House of Omelets.
A lot of people say eggs and things.
Fuck eggs and things.
Eggs and things fucking sucks.
Fuck eggs and things.
Eggs and things is so overrated. And if you are in
eggs and things is like it's okay. It's like super okay.
It's good, but it's super overrated, and there's a shit fucking like a shit ton wait time. Like it's
Yeah.
If you're not there, like when they open, you're waiting like a solid 45 minutes for a table.
Yeah. Harold's House of Omelets and Tio. That's where we go.
Yeah. If you're in the Conejo Valley, like you know eggs and things, and you know the hype, and you know it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, they give you like the crepe beforehand, like the appetizer. It's good, but
It's like a fucking.
It's a crepe.
If they circumcised your pancake before they gave it to you, that's what you're eating.
It's a crepe
With some fucking Nutella jizz on it.
It's grape jelly.
I've been eating at the wrong place.
Yeah, I can tell.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't have that breakfast place to go to yet. Like 7:30.
Well, what would it be for you?
got
Would it just be
family to
Denny's?
show
You just
people.
fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
If it
Denny's
were
is
up to
always a
me,
good
bro.
fallback.
If it was up to me, I'd do the breakfast cafe, but that's not here anymore.
yeah.
So
I mean, still have yet to try Braxton's.
yes, I've never tried that, but like I just know like
Breakfast cafe was good.
when my sisters would come down, my dad would be like, "Harold's House of Omelets, let's go."
Mm-hmm.
It was just that thing they did.
Harold's good. Raoul goes there all the time.
Yeah, super good.
Omelet the size of a plate.
Yeah,
Pancakes the size of a plate. It's like
and
they're
that,
fucking huge.
they serve you one thing on a plate, and which is why I think
huge portions.
I think that's why everyone loves it.
I've only been there once. Don't remember it.
I mean,
Remember it was good.
yeah, you don't have to remember
Just haven't been there since.
too much. I mean,
I mean.
can I get another one too? Can I get another one too? Are you on? Can I get the colder of the two? Is there a colder one than this?
Just, well, I'll pull them all
That
out.
one's way colder.
They're the fucking same, dude.
You're tripping, bro.
Here, I'm gonna move them all to one side.
Yeah, bunch them up.
Because I pulled from this side and you said it was colder.
Yeah, probably where the vent is.
Vent's in the fucking back middle, my guy.
Well, that's where the airflow's going.
Whatever.
That was a good question, but where would you go Oh, let's touch back real
What
quick.
about a lunch spot? Like, how about that?
I was gonna go there, but let's touch back real quick about going to a place and ordering less than what I said.
Okay.
Ryan's parents took Ryan out for his birthday one time, and I got to go with them to Lure.
Yeah.
And they took me along too, and they're like, "This is your birthday dinner too. Order whatever you want. Don't worry about the price." And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, look for something cheap. And I looked, and everything was like $50.
For those of
Everything was super expensive.
For those of you who don't know, Lure is a Southern California fish house that has super fresh fish and seafood, and it's very expensive.
Really expensive, really nice place.
Because it's super fresh.
But, yeah, super expensive, and I'd never tried lobster before. And
Fucking had lobster.
mm-mm.
Poor kid.
I've only ever had the imitation crab that you bought.
So fucking good, but so
It was
much
good.
It's all sugar. It's unfortunate.
That was all I've ever had. And then Ryan's dad was just like, "Hey, buy whatever you want. I know you, and I don't want you to not get something you want just to be polite." And I was like, "Okay." And the cheapest thing on the menu, I remember it was an appetizer, and it was like $25.
Still.
And I was like, am I gonna go for the appetizer? Because it was like a shrimp, like platter or something. And I was like, that's seafoody. It fits, and it won't be too weird because I could just say I like shrimp. And then I look over at the lobster and all the seafood, and it's only like $10 more. And I was like, I feel bad, but like,
Yeah, I mean, even when they just have dinner for us, like yesterday when we had lasagna.
yeah, dude, I felt really bad because I just grabbed it and I was like, thanks. And then we went into Ryan's room and I was like, oh shit, I had that conflict of like, should we have sat at the table with them? Should we have done that? Would that have been the right thing?
Well, even then, like they said it's okay.
By
for
the
us
way,
to eat
the
wherever.
Meyer family, thank you so much just for providing at all times for us a place to go and food, like,
Thanks
and beer.
for
And like,
essentially
thanks
adopting
for
us.
everything. Yeah, thanks.
We're
Jesus.
second kids.
Just good people, man. But
Yeah, like when like other people's family like offer
and then his mom made a
it's
second round of bread for us. I was like,
Yeah.
it doesn't get any nicer than that, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any nicer than that.
When other families like offer food, it's like, well, I eat a lot first of all, and so it limits me just in my choices personally because I'd eat 3 portions of lasagna serving.
You're from a Mexican family, and that's like a different culture. It's just like there's just always more than enough food. So it's like you eat it or you share it.
Well, even then, like I always overeat. It's like a problem I have.
Gotcha.
So like whenever I wanted to get food last night on my way home, but I didn't because I'm smart. But like I would have gone. I always say like, because I drive running and I can see the Jack in the Box drive-thru. I'm like, okay, if there's one person in the drive-thru, I'll go. I have a condition.
You know what's so funny though? I've been on the other side of that where I am the one person in the drive-thru, and then all of a sudden 5 cars are behind me, and I'm like, look at what I started.
Yeah, we always do that.
I'm sure there's a ton of people who have that same mentality to where there's like, if there's just even one, I'll go. Because I've been there too. I was like, man, it's late, but I will hit this Jack in the Box up for some tacos before bed if there's even one car. That I do that same thing too. And then there's a car, so you go get those tacos. And it's like, I think we did it recently, even at that Jack in the Box or something, but
yeah.
We hit it up, and then all of a sudden there's a line of 3 or 5 cars behind us, and we're like, holy shit, like out of nowhere.
It gets busy.
It gets busy, and it's like everyone was just waiting for us to be like, should I go? And then everyone's like, I'm going to go because they're there.
Yeah, so usually at night I'll tell myself like, okay,
That's crazy.
I'm not hungry, but I want to eat something. If I'm driving and I can see the Jack in the Box drive-thru on my way home off the freeway, and so if I see one car, I usually say I'll go. But I always get 2 tacos, 2 chicken sandwiches, and a meal number. Like a whole meal. So, like, I mean, it's a lot of fucking food for someone who's not hungry and
about to go to bed.
and could just eat. And I'll eat the whole thing before bed.
Yeah, that's super bad.
Which is something you should not do.
Yeah.
So I generally have, like, my Taco Bell order is $23. It's my regular order.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Not to, like, try to be rude, but, like, it's just because I know I spent that amount of money on like 3 items at McDonald's, which is like mad. So I know how much you can get at Taco Bell for $23.
And
You could feed 4 people with food at Taco Bell for $20.
And I eat all of it myself. I don't eat to be satisfied. I eat until I fucking hate myself.
Is that like a real thing? Do you do it? Is there a reason you do it? Because you want to feel...
It's because I feel like if I go to a fast food restaurant and order something that's only like $3 and I know will fill me up, I feel like it's a waste.
It's midnight. And
I feel like that's a waste
"Fuck
of
this
their
guy."
time.
Yeah. I was only gonna meet you there. I was like,
So I order more.
I've done that thing too.
But it'll also be middle of the fucking day, but I'll still think it's a waste of their time. So I'll order something more. And I'll get more than I need. And it's like, I'm not going to fucking let this go to waste. I'm not going to throw it away. So I'll eat it.
Well, I've also seen
I'm fat.
I've also seen you wake up in the morning and have like leftover Taco Bell and just eat that.
I'll leave it on my nightstand.
Yeah. So, but it is one of those things to where like I have that same mentality too sometimes, where I'm just like, not the most recent time at McDonald's, I can't speak for that because that was like, the service was bad and everyone was rude, but like, it's definitely one of those things, like in the back of my mind, I always think, and this is one of those things that I've said many times over, is like, I make problems that aren't mine my problems.
Yeah.
So I think about...
It's like an anxiety thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think about people who are in those drive-thrus working, and I'm like, their minimum wage is, even if it's up to $15, like, then they just served me all that food, and I paid like $7. That's nothing.
And you've been on their end too.
And I've been on the other side of people being bombarded by people who pay 64 cents for a cup of coffee for 3 hours.
Yeah. Or it's like 11:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Someone comes through and it's like, I just want a large drink for $1. It's like, okay, well, you're wasting my time.
You do the math in your head real quick, and you're just like, I didn't make any money. I made a penny off of that.
Yeah.
I made a penny.
It's like, you just go to the fucking store, buy some cans, buy a 24-pack.
It also blew my mind too. Like, you're right. Those late nights, how many people would come through and just get like a soda, and it's like
I
a
just want a
Coke.
large fry. It's like, okay, well, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like, dude, kudos to you, honestly, having the strength to just not eat. But like, also, just why? Like, is that your real craving? I think I was watching something recently, and it was like, what do you want? And it's just like, it was a TV show, so it wasn't like a real thing. But I've been around people who actually do this, and it's like, what do you want? It was called The Runaways by Marvel. It was really bad. I turned it off halfway through, but it was this guy, and he's just like, what do you want for breakfast? He's like, I'm just good with juice, and he just drinks orange juice for breakfast. And I'm like, first of all, what the fuck, dude? Like, your family made this whole big ass breakfast, and you're gonna drink juice and not get your ass beat? First of all. Second of all, really, that's all you're craving? That's all you want? Like, people who just want like these small things, like, that can't be real, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when I go to fast food places, I like to get a variety of things. When I go to Jack in the Box, I always get tacos.
You have to. They're $1.
It's $1.29.
It's deal.
I get 2 tacos and chicken sandwiches, and then I get something else. I gotta have the chicken sandwiches and tacos. I have to. When I go to McDonald's, I always have to get McChickens and McDoubles or double cheeseburgers, depending on like what I want. And then I always get something else. Like, I have to get those core things and then something else, because I know I can eat the core, but then I just have something else just in case.
Well, that's not a particularly good habit to get yourself into, because if you know you can
That's
eat the
my
core,
life.
if you know you can eat the core things, and then you start even just trying the new things, eventually you're gonna get used. Your stomach's gonna expand, and it's gonna be used to.
Yeah, that's called a fucking eating disorder, my guy.
No, that'd be a good place
well
to start.
aware.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
It also doesn't help me if there's one person in the there was one person in the drive-thru, but I forgot last night to go straight and not turn. There was one person in the drive-thru, and it doesn't help for me to say, if there's one person, I'll go and get food.
Because chances are there's someone
at
there.
midnight, right before I go to bed, and I eat in bed. I sleep eat. Like, I'm laying down and I'm eating food at the same time, watching a video, falling asleep.
Damn.
That's why I'm fat. That's why I have so much extra weight. It's super unfortunate. It sucks because I overeat.
Well, like
if I didn't overeat and I actually paid attention to what I ate, I'd be like 15, 20 pounds lighter.
Damn, man.
I would look so good. Fuck.
Well, then, I mean, we're obviously going to start, we're at least doing like a walk or something before every podcast then.
Yeah. I did more than you today.
I know your ego needs this, so you can have it.
Thanks, man.
But don't get used to it.
I only did 17 curls. The 18th one was too hard, and I stopped there.
It's all good, man. But you know, I mean that's kind of the battle a lot of people are going through. You know, especially right now, it's super easy to just make it to where eating is what's gonna be that next thing you do to pass the time.
Yeah, I eat when I'm bored too.
Yeah, and everyone is bored as fuck right now.
Yeah, I do it all the time though, regardless of pandemic or not. I'll walk downstairs, open the fridge, and be like, "That looks good," and just eat it.
Is there any way you think you could like kind of transform that energy or mentality into, instead of eating it, to where you go like on a walk, or instead of like, because that's what I'm trying to do, is like instead of going to eat or play video games, if I want to pass time, I go on a walk, and that if it's like a 2 or 3 mile walk, it'll be about an hour if I just walk it. I think it's a great way to kill time, and I think if you could put your energy into something else that kills time, like remember when you were like a hardcore gamer in high school and you weighed like 90 pounds, you didn't eat all day. If you just played one game,
I ate a lot in high school still.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I remember at one point you told me like there's a time when you just wouldn't eat and you just focus on video. I didn't
eat breakfast. I didn't have lunch, and then I just went home and then had one meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
Goals.
I mean,
goals.
Yeah, like if there's anything you could do just to where it's like, and I'm not saying do it in an unhealthy way, but if you could just like go on a walk, or just like instead of going to Jack in the Box, just be like, what if I just played a video game before bed? What if I just, because I've been getting super into meditating and watching a TV show. So I'll watch a TV show, I'll meditate, and I'll go to bed. And that's been helping me a lot. So if there's anything you can do to just kind of change up your cycle, change up your pattern, that's going to be step one.
And that's why I've started reading.
Yeah, and that's so fucking cool. Did you finish that book?
No, I didn't read anything last night.
I was gonna say,
I got home, turned on a video, and fucking passed out. I went to bed literally the moment I got home.
Really?
Yeah.
You just fucking tired?
Super tired.
Because I was gonna say 70 pages. I could probably handle that too if you wanted me to.
You could finish that in 2 hours.
Yeah, if you really wanted to give me to that, I'll make an effort to read that book.
It's good. It literally explains a lot.
Yeah.
Just understanding the lore of Cthulhu.
And it's one of those things, I mean, that's kind of like the perfect analogy, right? Because you start off with a book that's like 60 pages, and then all of a sudden you're like, I could read 60 pages in 2 hours? Shit, a Harry Potter book kind of looks a lot smaller now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You read a whole Harry Potter book in a day.
I've seen people do it. I've had people tell me they did it, and it's like, man, it's one of those things, you know, because I'm sorry to go back to this, but like, I set 10 minutes aside to meditate, and then it's 15 minutes, and then it's 25 minutes, and I'm trying to work my way to 30 minutes where it's just breathing, you know, deeply for 30 minutes before bed. And it's one of those things to where it's like you got to chase that high. So if you could read 60 pages of a book in 2 hours and like it, then apparently, well, rather, eventually you kind of be like, oh, well, I could read a Harry Potter book in that time. It's the same thing as like, well, I can eat these 2 tacos and 2 chicken sandwiches. That's my core. That's what I do. And then I add a meal. You know, it's like if the 60 pages was the core of your eating diet, if you put the extra 10, 20 pages, however many pages or whatever you do to something else, if you just were like, sorry, I got a little fucking dust bunny on my finger. If instead of that you got your core, and instead you were like, I'll get home and I'll do 10 push-ups and then I'll eat and then I'll go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, it's one of those, and I'm struggling with that too, which is why I've started meditating. You know, I went to a doctor. I thought I was having heart attacks, And my doctor was just like, it's really just anxiety, and you need to chill the fuck out and exercise more. So if you can get out there and exercise or do something more productive than eating, and then learn to chase that high of the productiveness as opposed to the high of the eating, I think that's kind of the way, because you're just taking the energy from this core meal and a number 3 on top. Take away the number 3 core meal and then read a book before bed, and then take away the core meal and then read more of the book, and then take away the core meal and then read that book and then watch a TV show and then go to bed, and then read more of a book and then one less of a TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I've learned during quarantine is that I fucking need routine. I need routine, and it's so...
especially because you don't work.
It's so important, yeah. Because I don't wake up at a certain time to go to a gig anymore. Excuse me. I have to create my own world now. And my own world consists of a walk that's 2 to 3 miles and meditating and probably some video games, and that's it. And a podcast, you know? And it's one of those things, like, you have to create that, and then you have to go chase that high that I feel. The walk before this podcast, bro, I feel like it did wonders. I feel like it made me more creative. It gave me some more energy before the podcast. It made me a little more outgoing. We're doing that again. I loved that feeling. It helped me drink an extra beer because I was just in the mood, even though it was warm beer. You know, it's one of those things like, oh, fuck, I like this. Go harder. And there's that part of me that's always like, do this new thing, and if you like it, go harder.
Motivation.
Yeah, so if you like reading, man, just go buy another book and then eat your taco and read a book, you know, kind of wean yourself off of it. Blend them in together, but with the intent to get one out of the cycle.
My hardest part about reading is I'll be reading the words, and like I'm literate, so I can read. Like, I know I can understand what's being written and said. But in general days, every day, I'll be conducting a task, just any sort of menial task. I'll do literally
remedial
anything, and there'll just be a constant flow of something going on in my head, whether it be music, a commercial. There's always something in my head. So if I'm reading, I'm seeing the words visually, but I'm playing a song
songs in your head
in my head. So nothing gets fucking absorbed because it's just a song repeating a line or two on repeat. Always.
So I want to out you real quick. Can I out you real quick?
Sure.
On one of the podcasts, you say you tried meditating with me, and then after the podcast, you were like, fuck that, no.
Well, because you won't listen to ASMR with me.
I'll listen to... No, that's the thing. I said on the podcast, I'll listen to ASMR with you.
Let's do it, sure.
If you try meditating with me.
Let's do it.
And I think it's really...
I don't recall this at all.
I think it's really helped me in the sense of just focusing, and like, I'm sure you've seen those posters around Moore Park campus of mindfulness training.
Nah, I don't pay attention to this shit.
Okay, those posters all around Moore Park campus saying mindfulness training.
Okay.
And it's... Sure. But it's... And that's the thing, too, man. I was there. I was like, who the fuck would meditate? I literally used to be that guy. I'm like, who the fuck would meditate? And now I'm meditating, and I'm like, yo, this is dope. I feel high after it. And it's one of those things, man. Like, you just give it a chance. And then I feel like I walk away, and, like, I know I expressed to you, like, things in my life that I'm like, yo, this is really pissing me off. This is really frustrating me. I'm really having this issue right now with this person, etc., etc. But I wake up every morning now after meditating, and I encounter a problem, and I'm just like, it's okay. It's not worth it. And I feel like because I take that little bit of time to do it, it made it a little more manageable in my life, you know? And because I've done it for like 2 months now, it's like these things happen, and I'm just like, whatever, immediately. I'm learning to just be like, who cares? Fuck that. Ignore it. And I'm learning to ignore things. And I think that's like so powerful because I need to. I've been trying to understand that power for so long of just not giving things my power, you know, of the whole. I've been in that drive-through, so I need to pay at least an hourly wage. It's a bad mentality to have.
I mean, I've been pretty good at not giving people power like that, or like not giving like whatever people do
Sure,
power.
I know. I'm saying this is my struggle, but
Okay.
I'm saying meditating has helped me with my struggle, and maybe it can help you with yours. And if not,
To quiet the
Just to-
ongoing radio in my head.
just to quiet those songs or whatever. Just whatever it is that you need to tell to shut the fuck up or ignore. I'm learning that myself, and I didn't think I could do it, but I'm doing it. And if it can help you, I think we should try it. And I'll listen to ASMR. If you want to listen to ASMR while we do it, we can do it. I've learned because of that David Blaine video. All you have to do is focus on breathing. If you want to listen to ASMR, and I'll listen to ASMR. You listen to ASMR you like. I listen to ASMR I like. But the key is you just have to take a deep breath in, and then make a kissy face.
You can do that.
And breathe out slowly like that. And then repeat that for 10 minutes. And we'll start at 10 minutes. I'm doing 25 a night now.
For me, it's just focusing on the sounds.
Then that's why you'll have the
That's why I have a fucking ongoing radio, because I focus on sounds.
But you need to blend into it. You need to ease into it. And
Not for
I've
ASMR.
done guided meditation too, and then I realized I like it better without. But if you just take those deep breaths, man, and just kind of focus on whatever it is you want to focus on. It's like, remember last night at Ryan's house, I was like, "You are my friend,"
Yeah.
and then eventually you played that song, and I was like, "Get it out of my system." And then you play that song, and I didn't say it anymore. That's what I think needs to happen. It just needs to get out of your system.
I need to go through all the songs and just play them all.
You just need to give yourself 15 minutes to focus on that song and just be like, and just breathe and just let it take its course, and then let it get the fuck out of you. Let it go. You need to learn to just fucking let it happen, and then just fucking get rid of it. It's no more.
And learn how to let go.
And then on to the next one.
Shit, that's pretty hard. At first, I need to identify which song it is.
Sure, but that's the thing. And here's the thing, man. It's just doing it. Just do it, and then just let your mind, whatever song comes up, and then focus on that one. And then focus on that one song, and then breathe. That's it.
Okay, so most of the time it is a song, but also like 80% of the time it's just white noise.
That's okay too.
There's always something, and I can never get rid of the white noise. It's just fucking radio static. Always going on. If there's nothing, if there's no song or phrase or just something going on in my head, it's always just white noise. There has to be noise in my head.
Here's the thing,
at
though.
all times.
Here's the thing, though. There's also mantra humming. I'm sure you know what that. Home.
Mongolian throat singing?
Nope. Nope.
Are you sure you could?
It's
do
just
that?
mantra humming. So I've tried that one too. It's just like you breathe in, and I say, healing. Breathe out, healing. And I just repeat something.
Just like that? Healing.
Well, I go, healing. Healing. Healing.
Are you sure? Yeah, have you joined a cult? That sounds pretty culty.
No, man. I swear. It's
Sure?
it's just me looking for something deeper in myself to feel. And that's the thing, bro. Like, I get that. I've been there. You know me, of all people, the first joke I'm going to make is a cult joke.
Yep.
Or I would love to sit here and make jokes about meditation with you, and I still can. But the fact is, I'm doing this thing much like exercising, and it's just helping because it's just the science of it. And you know science as well as anyone, man. When I go to a doctor,
I'm a scientist.
when I go to a doctor and they say you need to relax and exercise more, it's because it's going to release the dopamine. It's going to get rid of all the extra energy, the anxious energy, and it's going to let my body process it and focus on healing.
God, to not be anxious would be fucking a game changer.
I know, man, and it's really helped me with that. And that's just, and I can't promise you anything, man, but like, I'll do ASMR, and if you do meditating, 100%.
You'll find it's very much the same thing.
And you could show me the ones that I can meditate to, because I like soundscape.
I know it all, dude. I know.
Then show me
ASMR at the butthole.
Let's do it today. Let's do it fucking today.
Okay.
We'll eat and we'll do it right after. Because last night, bro, I meditated twice for 15. Kill it.
I'm gonna let him hang out for a sec.
All right. It's a tiny one.
You meditated for 15 what?
I meditated for 15 minutes. I watched a TV show, and then I meditated for another 15 minutes before bed. So it's like one of those things. Like I'm doing 30 minutes a night, but I'm breaking it up how I feel is the most sustainable. You still with me?
Yeah, yes, I'm still with you.
So if you could show me
20 minutes, is that not like a long time?
15 minutes. 15 minutes goes by really fast.
What's the longest you've meditated for?
30 minutes, but it was broken up.
No, okay.
I'm working my way towards
in a single session.
In a single session, I'm working my way towards doing an hour.
That's a long fucking time.
Yeah, uninterrupted. I want to do it though, because I'm chasing that high, bro. I really feel
like you're gonna astral project at that point.
Maybe. I feel so. Without sounding too fucking crazy, I'm trying to build a room. You know,
like I have my reading nook.
What?
See how like the weighted blankets there and the pillows? Now there's a fucking TV there.
Is that what you read?
Dad. That's where I read.
That's awesome.
I close the closet door. I turn on that light and
you just fucking chill.
I close the door and yeah.
That's awesome. That's a you time, space.
That's a reading nook.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I was like, what? I thought it was just a broken TV.
No, it's like, why is the door open? There's a blanket and pillows.
That's awesome.
No, it's a reading nook.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Except
it's hot in there.
I'm trying to build a room, right? And right now I'm imagining like a cabinet or a
closets make good space.
It's not a closet. It's for food. What are those called? Pantries. I'm imagining a pantry, and I'm imagining it with shelves. And my idea right now is to fill the shelves with stuff.
Candles.
Well, right now
light them all.
Right now, as dumb as it sounds, I'm trying to fill it with a teacup. So I'm trying to envision a teacup to where I know where it is in the room at all times, and then I'm going to build a room eventually.
You don't have much space. How are you doing this?
Well, I'm doing it in my mind. I'm building the room in my mind.
Well, that's not that cool. That's not as cool, I guess.
It's not as cool as a nook, but my pantry's about the size of that closet right now. And I have one teacup in there. One teacup.
A singular teacup.
A singular teacup.
You know what shelf it's on. You know what
I know,
color
it's always on the left shelf. I walk in. It's right here. It's that head height. I know where it is. I've built that. I've built it in my head. Mentally, I've projected it.
So is that going to be your happy place?
I started
happy place.
I started small with a pantry, so I could focus on a room later. In the room,
so you're going to build a happy place.
I'm gonna build my happy place. Yes, and it's gonna start with a pantry. This is like my little warm up. It's my little nook, if you will.
Reading nook.
It's my reading nook, if you will. But I'm gonna start with something small. I want to start with a few items in there, and then I want to build a room about this size to where I can imagine myself sitting on a couch or doing whatever.
But it's not a physical room. It's a mentally room.
It's a mentally projected room.
Would you build a physical room of this projection that you have?
Sure. In fact, actually, you know how I have dreams and remember a bunch of details?
Yes. I'm
starting to draw a bird's eye view map of the places I visit. Because you said I remember a lot of details, and I was like, well, I guess I kind of do. And then obviously some of the places I can't build because they're way too big. Like the last one I imagined it was 2 backyards connected by a bridge, and it was super big with a lot of details. But I just want to start with a room, and then if I had to build it later, I could tell you, what I imagined, what I thought, what I think, and etc. But right now, all I've got is a cabinet and a teacup.
It's okay. I have a dream desk. The schematics are in that second drawer.
Really?
Yeah.
Are we at an hour yet?
Yeah, we're at an hour 20.
Oh, fuck yeah. I've been needing to take a shit this entire time.
Of course.
And I would love to finish this beer and get some food and then get on with our meditating and ASMR.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Alec needs to take a poop.
No shit.
If you want to check out the website, you can sponsor our beer. We'll drink literally whatever you want us to.
2dudesdrinking.beer.
2dudesdrinking.beer. It's always in the description if you want to follow us on our personal pages. Those are in the description as well. Alex We don't really post much. I post a lot of stories.
I do not post much.
I've been posting.
I think
stories
the internet
recently.
is cancerous, and I think it's a circus, and I'm trying to avoid it at all times possible.
If
right
you
now.
like what we do, go ahead and share with a friend, or just consider subscribing to the page. If you found us randomly thanks to YouTube search recommendations. My name is Josh.
My name is Alec.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Nailed it.